I hope you're all well and blessed and enjoying your day. First off, I want to say I've been on quite the nicotine high lately. I've started smoking cigarettes again, and um, it's been quite enjoyable. You know, it's given me some time to think. Although I have started smoking cigarettes again heavily. There is some enjoyment in it, even though it's a nasty habit. Something very bad for your health. I've been driving and traveling, um, looking for work and thinking about career and many of the things that have happened to me over the past 2 or 3 years. And I know a lot of people out there have been going through some things too. And I realized, as I've been smoking cigarettes and just trying to find my bearings and my direction in life, maybe it won't happen. Maybe it won't happen this lifetime. Maybe the person that you are, the world just doesn't want to accept. Or maybe the person that you are is just a vision in someone else's mind that they don't want to see come to fruition. It doesn't really matter, it doesn't. What matters is that whatever life that you have and that I have, is that you keep the faith that you'll end up achieving your dream, living your dream, having the life that you want, even if, it comes in the next life, maybe it won't come in this life. Maybe people won't see who you are. But, God sees who you are. And, that's the most important thing, is that you should understand that you are you, and the world around you doesn't make you. It just tries to break you or break your spirit. And I say that because I know that happens to a lot of us, We fight, every day. All of us do. All of us fight every day to live our dreams, achieve our dreams, to our last breath. You just go for it. You try to find a way. You try to find a path. You look for support of others around you. And, whether you find it or not, you can't really say much, but you just go. Over the past 3 years, I've kind of realized that, maybe the moves that I made were the right moves, the wrong moves. Maybe the moves that I made were being watched and monitored and controlled. I don't know. And it doesn't matter. The point is that I tried to do what was best, for my daughter, myself, my own peace and happiness, for my country, I tried to serve, this country the best way I could. I got to travel a little bit outside of the country. And I met some great people along the way. I did. And, there's this vision that I have in my mind, there's this vision, that I want to see for my life and for the world, and I fought for it. And somewhere along the way in there, things got convoluted, or maybe I lost the vision. Maybe someone wanted to make sure that I lost the vision. But the only thing you really have is what feels true to you and what feels right to you in your own soul, and whatever that thing is, and whatever that lifestyle is, wherever that place is, wherever that person is, you just go for it. That's it. That's all you can do. Time does not wait for any man. It really doesn't. We just have to do the best that we can to make our vision and our dreams come true. And, I know a lot of you, including myself, have just had our hearts broken, our spirits broken, our souls just, pummeled, you say, what can I do now? You reach a point where you say, well, I can give up, or you can just have faith all the way to the end, and accept, hey, maybe it's not this lifetime. Maybe it's not. Maybe it won't be. Maybe the forces in the world, the people in this world, the organizations in this world, maybe they're too strong, Maybe God has a different plan. Maybe God will open that door at the last second. Maybe he won't. But I still believe it. I still feel it, I still feel it. I still feel that, what I feel in my soul and my heart is true. It's correct. And, you keep going. You fight to be treated, with respect, and you fight to be recognized, and you fight, for your worth to be seen. And you fight for whatever it is that you love, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You fight for it, We all do. That's why I'm making this live. Oh, well, if that's how you feel, that's how you can feel. That's because I've been smoking a lot of cigarettes. And for the person in the comment who likes to control the narrative and, get a reaction out of people, I know you're behind a fake profile. That's what you do. You're one of those people that wants to see me stay in a position of being broken and not have anything that God wants for me. And I understand that. That's the position that you play, because in the world we're all just pieces, and we either move for the devil, we move for the divine. That's how it works. And I respect you for making those comments, because you are controlled by the devil and you have to move for that side. I understand. You play for that team. I mean, life wouldn't be life if we didn't have to battle and fight against people who can only see one thing one way. You can only manipulate and change things behind the scenes. Can orchestrate the destruction of people's lives. I mean, that's the team that you decided to play for. So I would expect you to play for that team. You play for the team of wickedness. That's your team. That's what you're supposed to do. Some of us, like myself, fight for righteousness and fight for, love and joy and blessings and a better vision of the world, And I appreciate you for engaging in the battle, That is your choice. You've elected that choice. And if you sold your soul, you probably can't come back from it. And I understand you have to do what you've been ordered to do because you work for the devil. I stopped in a place today that I used to want to move to many, many years ago. It's a beautiful place. You probably know where it is. All of those who are in my phone, you guys track me. So, and good and evil both track my phones. I just want you all to know that you should not give up. Every day, someone's time on this earth ends and someone's time on this earth begins, And if you're at your last moment, your last breath, or, this is your last battle, then fight for the thing that, has meaning to you, into your soul, into your heart, Fight for it. And, the individuals who are in the comments, some of the individuals, who block people's destinies and fight to make sure that they don't get what would be justice in their lives. I appreciate you too, because it's all a lesson. It's all a school of learning, our lives. And when our time is up, our time is up. The question is did you learn the lesson? Did you find the peace? Did you get to experience the thing that you felt was joyous and righteous to you? And I believe that I did. And if this is the end, then it's the end. I fought to be respected and, appreciated in my position. Find people who also appreciated me, who didn't want to manipulate and use me or stereotype me. And I'm not sure I won the battle. I'm not sure I did. Many people decided to team up, and this is in your lives too. Many people decided to team up and cause you pain. Work diligently to find the thing that brought you happiness and joy, and be the person that got to burn it down to the ground, a lot of people like to do those things, and I've accepted it and I've made peace with it. It's actually made me, realize that my fight and my choices that I made in life were the right ones. You can't make people see who you are. You can only be who you are. And for all the dark forces, the people that do black magic, witchcraft, use AI programs to control and destroy people's lives, I understand. I do. I actually understand your side. I do. Some people don't want the world to change. They want it to stay the same broken, evil place, and they want to make sure that they're the ones that receive the blessings and the gifts, even though they do it through devilish and dark and deceptive practices. There's those of us who want to see good happen in our lives and in the world by doing good for others, and being unselfish, giving, helping with whatever you can, being a blessing to whoever you can. I know a lot of people have tried to get my channel shut down. It's beyond obvious. I'm sure some of you guys know this too. Some people want to make me live in fear, or, put you in lack, financial lack, spiritual lack, mental lack, and make you feel just broken and make you want to give up. But you can't give up. That's what life is. You have to finish it to the end, And I spoke to my mother today. I spoke to some of my family members recently. And it was interesting, to hear what they all had to say. Some people just won't understand you, Some people won't understand your desires and what you want. And, some people don't have their own lives, and they just have to find people's lives and say, let's tear down this one, let's tear this one's down. Let's use all our teamwork, to burn down that forest and stop that person from evolving and becoming that wonderful butterfly, or painting that beautiful picture, or making the world a wonderful place. Some people have to do that. And, I encourage all of those of you who wish to make the world a better place and wish to see your dream fulfilled, to keep fighting. Don't give up, Don't give up. There's been some individuals who like to pretend that they are me. They like to pretend that maybe I'm dead, or maybe that they can take over and take control of your life. And, they'll sit back and watch you and say, oh, look, we can watch this person react, and it's because they work for the devil. They don't have a life. Their life is my life. So you work for God, because you don't have anything better to do than to block and stop people, put roadblocks in their path. That's what you do. And I'm proud of all of you for being complete failures. That's who you are. I know you like to look at people as how they are on the outside, because you can't see their soul, because you already sold yours, you lost yours. You gave up that right. You gave up that right to see the beauty in the world. You gave up that right to be artistic and creative. You said, okay, I'll let the demonic forces win, and you can buy my soul with money. That's what you did. And you chose that path. And I'm glad that you did. Because I speak for those of us who fought through the struggle and the battle and the pain. People who want to rip your heart out, destroy you, make you feel low, make you feel like this is all you can achieve, this is all you can have in this world. That's because they don't have anything in this world. They hang on to the tiny possessions that they have and say, look what I've achieved. My soul is gone, But my soul still feels strong and vibrant. I still feel love in my heart, passion for the good people that I've met. And I don't feel hatred for all the evil ones. I really don't feel hatred for you at all. Because once you see that it's all just a game that we play, and you play it to the best of your ability, even though no one wants to help, even though so many people want to see me gone, even though so many people believe that I don't deserve freedom of speech, some people believe that I'm only here to be stolen from. And many of us righteous people, many of us who want to do good in this world, have been subjected to individuals who just judge us and say, this person needs to be judged. And that's what they do. They work hard and diligently to destroy you. They don't want to see how you've put in the effort. They want to paint a picture about you. And that picture is one that they run, very fast to the devil or whatever force of power and say, hey, look, 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 look. I found another person for you to destroy because I have to do that because I've sold my soul and I'm not that person. I've loved my life. I've loved driving the truck, seeing the beautiful country, Canada and the United States. I love driving around the Dominican Republic, Jamaica. I loved going to Colombia. It's a beautiful country. I took some wonderful photos in Medellin. It's a beautiful city. It's absolutely magical. It's much like New York, but it's, filled with all this jungle atmosphere. A lot of natural scenery there. Artwork, murals, it's beautiful. And that's what this is all about. You can choose to see the beauty in the world, or you can choose to see the darkness in it. And even though my life has been, over the past 3 years, just enshrouded by darkness, family members and friends, loved ones, all vying hard to make me rip my heart out, trying to rip my heart out and get me to commit suicide and make me work jobs, try to work me to death, keep me to the point where I don't sleep anymore. I applaud all of you because I still see the world as beautiful as it is. And I proudly wear the scars that I have. I do. I proudly wear them. I'm so happy that I have them. Because I know that I fought for something that was bigger than all the hatred and the control and the darkness. I fought for love. I fought for people to see, the beauty and the natural joy that people can have in this world, with or without money, with or without restrictions. And, I wish that some things had turned out different, but I realize that that is part of the process. The thing that you want may not come to fruition. The thing that you need may not come to fruition. The help that you ask for people may not come. And in all this heartache and pain and lack and destruction, I saw the beauty and the light. I did. I saw the great vision. And how many of us lack it, and how many of us just want what we want. And we ignore and see the things that God has put together. And at this point, I realized faith is the only thing you can have. You have to believe. You have to believe that tomorrow you're going to meet that person that is going to help you. You're going to meet that person who's going to open up your heart. You're going to reconnect that person that you enjoy chatting with and being your friend. You know it. And you just believe that to your dying day. And you fight for it. I've walked the path of good and evil, both sides. I have both sides. And, as you pull back, you realize, there are things that you want and desire, but sometimes it gets too dark and you just have to walk away. And you find the love and you see the good in people, even people who don't see it in themselves. And you try and uplift them and share with them to the best of your ability, possibly even to your own demise. You try to instill in them, value and strength, something that, all of us should share with each other. More love and just caring and being appreciative of what people want and what God has for them, what blessings that are meant to come into their lives. And even though those blessings have been stripped and blocked from me, you keep going. You keep going. Even if you say it for the next generation, because I may not be here, I may not. I fought the best that I could, and I walked with God the whole way. He was there the whole way. That's the one thing, about people who believe and have faith in God is that he's not in a book. He's not, whether you read the Quran, whether you read the Bible, whatever you might believe, whether you read the Torah, whether you believe in Buddhism, whether you believe in whatever you believe, whether you're an atheist, it does not matter. You will walk with something spiritual. You will walk with something bigger than you, and you will experience it in some point of your life, whether it's through pain, or joy and love, or hatred, darkness. It doesn't matter. You will experience it. Now, some people in the comments, have to follow this they have to put me and many of the good people who follow my channel, they have to put you in a box, right? It's just part of the game plan. It's the way the devil works, The devil is crafty, and he's very crafty. He's very manipulative. And he's also someone who likes to make you think that he isn't here, he does not exist. And he loves to draw you in with these little games, he loves to trigger you. And you realize that as you fall down in life, as I have, I've fallen down, I've fallen all the way down. And I've realized, I said, oh, the devil used his time to try to destroy me, but God used the devil to show you something that you didn't see coming. A miracle, something bigger than all of us. A lot of us are still here standing, and we have all our burdens and our pain and our struggles, trials and tribulations. And you say, wow, I made it through all of that. God brought me through all of that just to show the people who work for the practitioners and the individuals who do black magic and those who like to start wars and create strife and pain and keep people suppressed and oppressed, Wow, we didn't really win, did we? We did all that, we didn't really win. We tried to break somebody and keep them from sleeping. We tore their family away from them. We destroyed their finances. We took away the person that they loved and cared about. We broke their heart. We tried to destroy their soul, and we didn't. This person still believes in love. Excuse me. This person still believes in God. This person still wakes up every day and takes photos and shows the beauty of the world. This person hasn't given up. Broken and beaten and tired. He hasn't given up. He hasn't given up. He still believes. He still believes that there's love and good and blessings coming. And for all of you out there who've been betrayed by your loved ones and your family members, and betrayed by your co-workers, and betrayed by your own government, betrayed by individuals who believe that they can just twist your story around and will make this person darkness in the world. You've just made me see how wonderful and beautiful it is. Absolutely beautiful. And the experiences I've had were absolutely worth it. I can't change the way that I look. I can't change the place that I was born. I'm from Rockland County, New York. Many of you know that. Many of you have tried to change that. You know who you are. You tried to change who I am, but you can't. And for any of you out there who work for the side of good and see the good in the world, you can only be who you are. It doesn't matter if people see it or not. It doesn't matter. Just be yourself. Be yourself. Enjoy your life. Live it. There's always going to be some opposition. There's always going to be people, and they usually work in groups because, you know why they work in groups? Because they're not strong. That's right. If you were strong, you wouldn't have to work in a group of 12 or 15 or 35 and call people up and, coordinate your attacks behind the scenes, Why would you have to get inside someone's phone or falsify their identification, try to say that they're not from this country? Why would you do that? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know I walked it alone. Well, I didn't walk it alone. I walked with God. And a lot of these devilish people who work in groups, thought, oh, we'll take everyone away from him. We'll break his heart. We'll strip all this stuff away from him and watch him fall. Why would I fall down? I'm stronger than all of you. That's why you work in a pack. Pack of donkeys, right? I'm still here. And I know you still have more attacks and plans. That's what you do. You work together so that the world can stay broken the way that you like it. In pain and in lack. People destitute. People with good, warm hearts. You like to break their hearts. You like to break their families. You like to make sure that they live impoverished, you know. That's why you all work in groups. Because you couldn't do it on your own. And you also know that when the wrath of God comes, you couldn't withstand it on your own. That's why you cling to that group so strongly. You cling to that dark coven or that dark church group, dark family, and you move in the shadows because you can't move in the light because you're not of the light. You don't see the beauty in the world. You only see the darkness and destruction. You only see the pain and anguish, and you love to inflict it. And to gain what? What have you gained? Look at your material possessions. Look at them. Look what you have. You can't stop your aging. Your time's gonna run out just the same. And you just chose to knock people down and break people's hearts and destroy the world. That's what you've achieved. Right? That's what you did. Your time. I made this person look this way. I took this from them. I refuse to see the beauty in the world. I refuse to see the beauty in the struggle, in the fight. I refuse to let God enter my life, even if through the darkness and the demonic forces, you know? I've loved every second of the pain and the pleasure I really have. I realized it had to be this way. It was my mission, it was my path, you know. I hope I have enough time left on this world to show you guys some of the photos that I took, some of the videos that I took, some of the wonderful people that I met along the way. And I hope those of you who wish for me to just fall over and die or kill myself, I wish that you continue to keep playing for your side as well. The world is a very beautiful place. And I know that you've decided that I must take a side and I must fit into your box. But the truth is, there is no box. There's only God's love. That's it. That's how we all got here, and that's how we all get up out of here. We'll answer to somebody someday. We all have consequences for our actions. It's not my fault you couldn't see the light. It's not my fault you can only see what's on the exterior, or how much material wealth someone has, or how they look, or how they speak, or where they were born, or where you wish they were born. Oh, man. That identity theft's not going too good for you guys, is it? I know. That's God's plan. I don't have any vengeance or hatred towards any of you. I really don't. I don't, not at all. I don't. You know who I am. I'm Dexter, Rockland County, New York. Born American, always gonna be an American. And whatever your opinion might be of people's looks, or whether they want to learn a different language or culture, or whether they have a certain job or position, I love driving a truck. I love seeing the beautiful countryside that God made and no one owns. Nope. Not if you're Native American, not if you are a white American, black American, Hispanic American, whatever you want to call it. You know, I went to some place today and I watched an individual there make a bunch of jokes about little people. And, you know, I've learned over the years that you should allow people to show you who they are and accept it right away. And I immediately left this place. I left this place where I could see immediately that they didn't have the best intentions for me. They were already trying to nickel and dime me and show me that I'm not worth what I know I'm worth, you know. And they tried to berate me into getting into conversations that degrade people and tear them down. And I said, oh, I'm glad that you showed me who you are right away. I'm glad that you showed your face. I'm glad that you showed me what you think of me. They tried to rush me and force me and speed me up, even though they told me it would be something different. And that's what the devil does. The devil draws you in with this pretty picture, and then he just tears it all away. Because the devil actually doesn't have anything to offer. That's what they won't tell you, these individuals that work in groups, in societies. There's nothing that they have to offer. That's why they want you to join. And as soon as you join, what do you get? Absolutely nothing. I don't know how much time I have left. I don't. I really don't. This could be my end of me in this world, this realm. It could be my end, you know. Maybe it's my own doing. Maybe it's what God wanted. The lesson, though, has been learned. And it has been a good lesson. And I have found peace. And I hope you all find it too. It's hard to fight uphill, isn't it? It's hard to fight uphill. I explained to one of my friends the other day, you know, for those of you who've ever played poker, you know, the key to poker is making the opponent believe that they've won all along. You know, you have to convince all of them, the entire community, everyone at that table, that they're smarter than you, they're better than you, and that they're winning the game. That's how you win big. That's how God plays. God allows the devil to run amok, you know, get big-headed, and then he comes down and he humbles all of us. He humbles us all. And it makes us realize that we're just that tiny little speck here, and we don't control anything. The Lord really does giveth, and he does taketh away. And in that I found peace. There is no control. In the end, it's only what God wants. It's always been that way. God's plan always fails. Now, for some of you who believe that I'm a terrorist or some sort of psychopath, right, you should believe that. Some people say that I'm crazy. Some people call me Derek and not Dexter. I know why. Some people believe that the image that they can paint of you is so strong that it'll destroy you mentally. It will cause you anguish. It'll cause you to fall apart and crumble and come begging for help and run to the dark side. I've chose to continue walking it on my own, fighting on my own, knowing that people don't see me for who I am, knowing that people call ahead before I get to locations and track my GPS on my phone, you know, put me under surveillance of certain organizations because they're trying to steal something from me. You know what they're trying to steal. They're trying to steal my soul. And they're trying to steal your soul too. They want to steal your peace. They don't want you to sleep. They don't want you to have loved ones. They want you to feel alone and cold. They want you to feel dark. They want you to feel that there's no joy in your life and that you're not happy and you never will be. And it's made me happier than I've ever been. It honestly has. It's made me happier than I've ever been in my entire life, watching everyone that I've known or loved come against me. It really has. It's made me realize maybe I am supposed to walk this alone, even if it's to my death. It really has. I have aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters. Friends and loved ones who've all chosen to walk their own way. And it's made me realize something. My grandmother was right. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. because the world's full of people who want to cheat you. It really is. And I'm tired now. I don't sleep much, I don't sleep. My spirit's tired. My soul's tired. And those who are around me are waiting to come in for the death blow. And do as you will. And God does. He always does. I call back, any power, energy God has for me, any blessings that He has for me in this lifetime. I really do. I call them all back now. And I just want you all to know that God's in complete control of all of this. And the world really is so beautiful. I met so many amazing people. Dark people too. And I saw the light in them. I saw the good in them. And I tried to instill the positivity, even though I was going, through my own burdens and struggles. And I realized the fight's always going to be there, and it's going to be there for you too. It's always going to be there. They'll never stop coming for you, especially if you have good intentions. Especially if your intentions were good and pure from the beginning, And hurt so much that I actually see the joy in it now. The blessing in the strife. Knowing that so many are against me. And probably against you too. They're probably against you too. But don't give up, okay? For all of you, just because my time might be nearly over, just because my path has been blocked, doesn't mean yours will. And it doesn't mean that tomorrow or the day after that will be the biggest blessing that comes into your life. But sometimes the biggest blessing that God can give you is to survive. How many of you out there wish I was dead right now? How much money would you have made? Probably would have made a lot, right? I've lost almost everything. Lost my daughter, any finances that I would have had or had, peace. I've lost my drive and my will. But I'm still here. Still here. And as long as I'm here, I'll use whatever breath I have or time I have to say, this life is amazing. And I see the beauty in everyone, even the most wicked people. I do. And I see it in all of you. And as you go through your days and your struggles, I see it in all of you. I see the God in everybody. I do. I see the God in everybody. I don't see the comments anymore. I don't see the cyberbullying. I don't see the judgment. I just see everyone, and I just see the good in them now. I see the good in everybody. I really do. I understand everyone's actions and decisions. I really do. A lot of people tell me that I need to sleep, Maybe I do. Maybe I need eternal sleep. I don't know. That's God's plan. I don't know. But I know I made it through my lesson, and I hope you all make it through yours too. I do. I really do. I hope you see that light at the end of the tunnel. I hope you make it to your finish line. I really do. Because it is beautiful. It is. It really is. The whole cycle of life. And I'm getting a little tired now. I'm probably going to go outside, smoke another cigarette, Maybe I'll smoke too. I really need to post those photos and videos for you guys. I do. I hope you see the beauty of them in them as well, you know. Let me read some more love or hate comments before I go. Let's see. Oh, sorry. You're my favorite. Transgender Aryan woman. Okay, wow. Awesome. Devil in the house. What's a good recipe? New York chopped cheese. You gotta use onion, and you have to use Heinz ketchup. Try to use whatever favorite seasoning you have, a pinch of salt. You might want to use French bread or Italian bread. Definitely use provolone and American cheese. And make sure you wrap it up at the end so that the flavors have a chance to meld. New York chopped cheese, you should try it. It's very underrated. It's a very good sandwich. You should try and make it one day. Definitely use onions. Definitely use good ground beef. Are you a widow, window, middle, or aisle guy? I'm tall. I like the aisle. I've seen a lot of the world. I'm 44, so I don't need to look out the window. I know what's out there. I like to be on the aisle. It's easier to go to the bathroom and interact with the people, and you get more leg room. There are no gods or masters. Can we talk about soup recipes? In your way, you are right. There are no gods or masters. You're correct. You are right. Because in this world, we're allowed free will, and you can believe whatever you want to believe. So you are right. Soup recipes? For soup recipes, I like the ones that don't have poison in them. Also spaghetti. Yeah. I like those recipes. Poison free. Way more comfortable how this dude speaks than all these streaming non-mannered kids. Well, you know, clout is very popular these days. We have people who will do anything for money, men and women, and just do anything for money. And even though all of us have to make money in some way, shape, or form and try to do the best that we can with it, some people will do anything. They really will. They will run and sell their soul immediately. I tried the best I could do with whatever opportunities were presented to me, and I'm thankful that I had those opportunities, but they did not pan out the way that I wanted. But I know that my soul is more important, you know, and I will continue on as long as I can. Why are you talking like you take BBC? Okay, so I'm assuming the Jewish guy, I'm assuming that you like pornography, and I've watched much pornography in my day, actually have, and I'm starting to move away from it, and the reason is because the dopamine high doesn't give you the pure high that like hiking does or enjoying nature. It really doesn't. I don't know why you made that reference. Maybe it's something that's appealing to you. I don't know. When I grew up, I actually had many Jewish friends. I went to a predominantly Jewish high school in a predominantly Jewish town. A lot of good friends I made. One of my good friends, actually, when I was younger, a very talented basketball player, Jewish, very talented basketball player, really good, point guard. He was very good. He actually helped me out and opened the doors up to me to get into AAU games in New York City. He had a lot of connections. And if it wasn't for him, I probably would have never went to college. I probably would have never would. I didn't start playing basketball until I was 13. I have a lot of good Jewish friends. And I believe connecting with people isn't based upon their race, religion, or color. You can have relationships with people, and you do have relationships with people, and it doesn't really matter to me what background is. I don't really care. I'm from New York, and for the people from New York, you have interacted with everybody, so you understand them for the way that it is, and you understand people for the way that they are. And in some ways you can connect with people, in other ways you can't, But enjoy your BBC, man. I don't know. That's on you, dude. Whatever you enjoy is on you. Let's see where we left off here, huh? Oh, we got one more. I have an issue with my faith, and I can't find a fellow Christian who has a good knowledge and understanding to help. Well, if you haven't found one yet, it's because God has not presented that person to you yet, and you might need to walk through some more trials on your own. You know, the thing about having faith, and that's all that we really have in life, is that the strongest ones in this world are the ones who walk alone. And that's something that those who cling to their groups and their gangs and their organizations will never understand. The ones who walk through it alone are the strongest ones. And that's why they get bullied and picked on, is because the ones in the group know they can't do it themselves. So when the leader says, hey, we have to attack that person, they all come running along. That's what they have to do. It's that group mentality. If you want to be a strong Christian and you want to find a person, what you need to do is actually walk more on your own. That way you know God brought that person to you. You know, the gangs and the criminal organizations and the people who work in cliques that say that they're for you, they're not for you. They want to sell you a dream. They want to convert you. It really is like the Matrix. You know the part in the Matrix where Smith throws his hand into everyone's chest and he tries to convert them? It really is like that. But he couldn't convert Neo. And that's really what it is to have faith. You have to believe that even though they attack you, even though your desires are blocked and you have to be strong, you say, why do I have to be strong? It's because God chose you to be strong. That's what it is. The world doesn't see it. But when you see it, you know. God chose you to be one of the strong ones. One of the ones to walk it alone. One of the ones to be cut down and hurt. You have a life of pain. And see the beauty in that. Really. To really see like, oh wow, but I beat you all by myself though. You notice how like Smith always rolled up in a clique, right? You know, the agents could take over whoever they wanted, right? Because that's how they are. They have to roll like that. They have to. They don't play fair. They can't play fair because they can't do it on their own. If you want to be strong, do it on your own. You'll really see the beauty in it. You'll really see it. Even though no one else will. But God sees it. You'll see it. You look like Jameis Winston. I think that's a quarterback. Is that a quarterback? I think so. I think he's a quarterback. I don't know if he's still in the league anymore. He's a pretty big guy too, right? He was a big guy. I think he was in the NFL for a while. I don't remember which college he played for. I don't know him personally, but I think he had a pretty successful career. If you make it to the NFL, you should be pretty happy, right? You're pretty successful, right? You know? Well, looks like I got to the comments there. Oh, is being gay immoral? I don't know. Gay in the English dictionary means you could be happy. But I think you're referring to, are you someone who likes the same sex? I don't believe it's immoral. I believe that just like anything in life, you go through a trial. And the question is what is the outcome of that trial? And what do you learn from it? So right now, you know, I'm in a heavy phase of smoking cigarettes again. You know what I mean? It's actually brought a clarity, but I mean, I'm on like a heavy nicotine push. Is it good for me? No. Is it immoral? I don't know if it's immoral, but is it something I should probably get away from? Yeah, I probably should, but the question is how do you feel about the question that you ask, being gay? How does it make you feel? Is it something that you're experimenting with, or is it something that you're sure of? Like in my soul, I know I've met certain people in my life, like, I'm like, yes, that person I was meant to meet, or that place I was meant to go, or that thing that I wanted to do, I was meant to do that, you know, and you have conviction about it. So if you feel that it's immoral, then it's immoral. If you feel that it's righteous, or that it's your path, it's something that you just have to do, you know what I mean? You have conviction about it, everything about it, you know, makes you feel that you need to do it, then do it. There's a woman that I used to know, and I just can't stop thinking about her. I can't. and I don't have the ego or the shame of now, because people will tear you down. Like, oh, did you know that person does this? People will do stuff like that to you. Those that roll in the cliques. And it doesn't matter what people think, that person, that woman. And I just know how I feel about it, and whether or not interaction with that woman improves in the future or doesn't isn't of my concern. It's out of hands. It's in God's control. But if you feel a conviction about something, so strong, and you say, yeah, I just can't get this out of my head, then maybe that's part of your path. And I don't know, because it's not my path, it's your path, So you answer that question, because that's the right answer. You have to answer to whatever you believe comes to you when your physical flesh dies. So I'm not God, I don't judge. I think that you should find the answer to that yourself. I really do. Thanks for hanging out here. I see I only have one more person in here. I appreciate you guys watching, Don't give up, Life is about going to your last breath, it really is. No matter what adversity you run into, No matter what changes in your life, or how much the world tries to break you, We just keep going to the end, Maybe tomorrow they'll see it your way. Maybe the blessing will come and maybe it won't. But I know how I feel. And I know that my path was my path. And I walked it alone. I did. And I'll probably continue to walk it alone. Because that's what God sees fit. And if God decides to change that one day, he will. Because that's what I believe. Thanks for watching, guys, okay? Don't give up. It's time for me to lay down. I need some rest. I need a lot of rest. Don't give up, guys.